Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna make sure it hits record. Okay, there we go. So I'm also gonna have these headphones in. This isn't to hear you. This is because I have my Stay from Interstellar music on my phone in my head all the time. So,
No, you're good. I watch your TikTok, so.
okay, so you see, so just hang out with me. I am zoned out, and I can tell you the first person off the bat that comes through is a gentleman, the older gentleman. That's the first person that shows up automatically. And hang on, the Jeff guy, he's been here, he's been around,
Yeah.
he's been around you a lot, but it's interesting. His vibe, he loves you though. He's like, I love you, girl. Like, I love you. I don't know. Hang on. We'll get into this. Hang on. It's weird because it's almost like he's stuck a little bit. I don't know why. He had a lot of depression. He had a lot of sadness, but he's like a really nice guy at the same time. He doesn't really like to be around a whole lot of people. Hold on. He's talking about wishing he would go and like show more love. Wishing he would be able to go and show more love. He's very. If I wish I could, I mean, I can show you what he's doing. I'll get up and show you. But his body motions, his movements, hang on. He says he's like really here and really trying. He he says he's always working. He's always working. Weird. His body hurts him. His body used to hurt him a lot. Um, I'm always out here doing something. I was out here like tinkering or whatever this is. It's weird because he's talking to me also in like a bar. That's weird. He'll like switch between that, but I don't think he because he was mainly like was he like mainly in his house and like in his garage that kind of looked like a shed, and then he would go to this bar or something. What is that? Yeah. Okay.
He
Okay.
didn't go to a bar a lot, but he did live in a garage that was turned into a house.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because everything's metal. And I'm like, what? I'm like, are we in a bar? Where is this? Okay, so that's just his house. Okay, okay. Because he's walking around. I'm talking to him, and I'm just going to get to show you. It's like, if we're in this house, this open area thing, and it's like almost like standing in the edge, and he's like, well, I got to get all this
Uh,
shit done, and what do you think I'm doing? Like that. And I'm like, okay, okay. You have a kid? You have a baby?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, he's telling you, really, congratulations. Okay, sorry. He goes, I said, what are you doing? He says, tell her to bring the kid over. Tell her to bring the baby over. Like, hold on. He never got to meet the little bugger?
I'm currently pregnant.
Oh, no wonder. Okay. Oh, okay. He says, like, tell him to bring him over. Is it a boy or is it a girl? Do you know? No, you're frozen on me. That was so good. Come back, come back, come
Rose,
back.
I think.
Yeah, you're okay. Is it a boy or a girl?
A girl.
Okay, okay, cool. Sorry, normally I guess on that, but or not guess. I feel it, but I'm not. I'm just like very amazed. He's talking about. He goes. Tell her. Oh, I'll meet her now. I'll meet her now. Tell her when she's ready to bring the little bugger over. Bring the little bugger over. Like I've never met her before. Like haven't met her before, but I'll meet her now. And so that's why I'm like, this almost feels like he lives and stays in this garage. Like that's where his version of heaven is. And hang on. He says that you're his girl. Um, is this like dad to you?
That's my dad, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I asked him. I was like, who are you? He feels like a dad vibe, and I'm like, and I was like, who is he? He's like, that's my girl. That's
Yeah.
my girl. So I'm like, okay, I know this is not a relationship. This must be dad. Hang on.
Yeah.
He's talking about tell her I'm sorry. Tell her I'm sorry. Hang on. Wait. Let's figure out why. Hang on. He's talking about wishing he could do better for you, wishing he would have done better for you, but he tried damn hard. He says he's stubborn. He says he likes the guitar.
Loves the guitar.
He
Loves
likes
the guitar.
okay. Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
my light's flickering. What the heck? That was
Okay,
weird.
sorry. Yeah, that's happened sometimes, okay? Oh, that's weird. Okay, and right when I'm talking about that. So this is what he was doing. When he shows me that, I go, "What are you doing?" He's sitting in like this chair that like comes up and he has like his foot here and he's like doing like this. And I'm
Yeah,
like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I like the guitar." He just stares
yeah,
at
that was a big thing, big thing.
me. Really? Oh my god. Okay, sorry. He's like, "I told you I'd be good. I told you I'd be good." He said, talking about how there are a few repairs you need to make to your house or the place you live in. I don't know. He's like, "Oh, it's like fixed up here, fixed up there. There's a few repairs here." He's like, "Hang on. I want to know what
Yeah.
happened to him." He he's like around, man, he's so skinny. He's so skinny. Like his little hips are so skinny. He's not even like a crotchety old bastard. I love this man.
He's got a good personality.
He does. He has a great personality. He used to smoke cigarettes.
Yes, a lot.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I'm talking to him. I go, "What are you doing?" And he lights one up. And I go, "You don't smoke." He's like, "Now I can, like I used to." And I'm like, "Okay, okay." You'd be pissed at him for doing that. You'd be pissed at him for smoking. You'd be pissed at him for something. Me and my girl, he calls you.
You broke out. I couldn't hear you.
I know. He's talking about how you would be mad at him or you'd be pissed at him for smoking. I don't know why. I don't know why. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, you're breaking up over there. You're freezing over there. It says that your connection's not great. So hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on.
I heard you be, and then I lost you.
It's okay. Yeah, your connection over there, it keeps dropping. It keeps dropping. He says that oh man. Is there a way that you could get on a better network? Hold on. No, please, 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 please. Hold on. Is there a hold on. Get on a better network or on your phone. I can see you now. It keeps saying on your connection is dropping over and over again. Is there a way that you could get on either a better network or like on your phone, maybe? Maybe.
I'm on my phone, but I had it on Wi-Fi. I just turned my Wi-Fi off, so that might help.
Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. So he's talking about how like with him smoking, like you'd be pissed about it or something like that. And so you'd be
Yeah.
upset. Okay, cool. He's like, hold on. Sorry, when I channel, I move fast and he's moving fast with me.
Yeah, he's fast.
He's like constantly tinkering with things. He's really into vintage. He's really
Yeah.
into like he's showing me like these old metal signs. He's showing me posters. He's showing me. He really likes where he lives. He really likes his house. That's his palace or something like that.
Yep.
He
Humble abode.
yeah, he loves it. Hold on. Did y'all end up selling off a lot of his collection?
Well, when he passed away, his brother took over, and he kind of got rid of everything. So I've got a few things here and there, but most of it his brother did away with or has at his house.
Oh my god, he's not pissed, but he's like, he goes, "Would you believe they sold a lot of my collection?" I'm like, I could see that. He's talking about how most of it would be junk. He's all into like classic cars too. That's a whole nother thing. He likes, hold on, where are you at? Where are you at? He talks about you should have seen me when I had my hair. He's like,
Yeah.
and he like flips it. He puts on like this leather jacket and he's like, yeah. And he's like, he said he's a good old country boy. I guess he's country. He said, but I'm into rock and roll. I said, okay, I
Yep.
understand. I get it.
Spot on.
He says that I wouldn't know anything about that. I was like, sir, I was in a screamo band, and he argues with me that that's not music, and I say, yes, it is. And you were into that stuff. You like the whole screamo vibe? Okay.
Yeah, when I was younger.
He said my daughter was into that shit. I was like, okay, fine. So anyway, so he's calling you out. We're vibing
That's
together.
exactly how he would say it too.
Yeah, as he said, my daughter was into that shit. I was like, oh, okay. I want to know what happened to him. Hang on. He didn't want to he suffered. He was suffering. He was suffering. He's talking about not wanting you to see him suffer. He doesn't want to let you see him suffer. He says he gets so angry. Did he have cancer?
Yeah, he died of cancer.
Really? Okay.
He had cancer for over 10 years.
So no wonder he was suffering. Yeah, he keeps trying, like, it's this thing where we try to hide it, like, nope, I'm good. Nope,
Yep.
I'm fine.
He refused treatment and stuff, and he was like, God will take me out when he takes me out.
You would, wouldn't you? So I'm staring at his picture right now. I'm just telling him that. I mean, in my head too, but I'm like, you bastard. Hey, hold on. Hold on. It went into his bones.
Yep.
He's talking about his hips hurting. He's talking about his hips.
He had a metal rod in one of his legs he'd been in a lot of car wrecks too. So on top of the cancer and it getting as bad as it did, he had a metal rod that caused him a lot of pain.
So no wonder he's talking about this. He's talking about when he walks, he goes, yeah. He's like,
yeah,
like that. And he's very stiff when he moves. He's very, very stiff. Like he's like, yeah. We don't do a lot of movement. Hold on. Did they end up cremating him?
No, not him. No.
Okay, we'll get into that in just a second. So there's two things that happen with this. I think he's just making a joke about it. And that's why I asked if he got cremated, because he made a joke about how whenever he decays, the only thing that's going to be left is that metal rod. And so he shows himself really quickly decaying and how it's only this metal thing. And so I'm like, all right, are you making a joke about how you die? This is the last thing you have left except for screws and bolts and this metal rod, right? Or did you get cremated? So yeah, he's talking about.
Probably that wasn't the only thing that he had either. He had screws and bolts and other stuff too.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, because he shows his body, and then he like makes it disappear, poop, and he drops all this metal.
Yeah, he was in a lot of accidents. He was crazy when he was younger.
Motorcycles though too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go, what were you doing? I said, what were you doing, stupid? And he's talking about like jumps and flips and like being stupid and like all this stuff. I'm like, you're on fucking motorcycles. He's like, yeah, hold on. Smack him over the head a couple of times, but I like the guy. So you're currently married right now. Hang on. That's what he said about him. He said, smack the guy over the head a couple of times, but I like him. Just very, very straightforward like that. I was like, okay. And that's why I was like, oh, you're married. He doesn't like anybody taking care of his daughter. He's like, oh, I don't trust, like, I'm going to take care of my daughter. He's like, you are his. He says that you loved him unconditionally.
Yeah, he had a lot of faults, but I knew that he tried. So
he said that you love him. He shows himself as like Beauty and the Beast. Like he's the beast, you're the beauty. And he says that you loved him unconditionally, that he didn't deserve it. And he's such a kind man at heart. He's such a kind. I'm gonna cry right now just because there's like, oh,
I'm hearing it.
You're fine. We're both doing it. He calls you his angel. Like you are his angel. That's his thing. Hold on. I'm going to do the best I can to help her with this pregnancy. You're already having issues with swelling?
Not necessarily, but I have prior issues with my prior pregnancies. It's gotten worse each time, so.
Okay, because he's showing it's not just normal ones. Like I had normal swelling. This is like, he said, try the best one to like, help you along with this. And he talks about how like you're probably going to be either on bed rest or you're going to have to be like out for a while, because he literally shows you like chronically swelling. And so know that you're going to get through that okay, but know he's going to help you out with that too. Like everything's going to be safe. Everything's going to be fine. Have they talked about taking her a week early?
They've not talked about it yet. I'm 21 weeks, but I had my last daughter at 35.
Okay. Okay. Cool. 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 Yeah, you're gonna be early. You're not gonna be on time or late. You're gonna be early again. Okay.
Yeah, I assumed.
Yeah. I'm sorry. He's talking about. I said, so when is it gonna be born? How does it work? And he's talking about dates. He. Hold on. Do you do you have the guitar?
I have a guitar, but I can't play it.
Perfect. Okay. He goes. He says, honey, dust it off. Don't keep it in its case or something like that. Like
It's in its
talking.
case.
Is it? Okay. He goes, honey, dust it off. Don't keep it in its case. He's like, fiddle around with it. And I was like, wait, what is this? And he shows me a guitar. I was like, oh, you do have one.
I've
He,
always wanted to do that, and it's just like a lot of my family was based around that, and it's just something that I tried to do, and it just didn't click with me.
I get it. I get it. I get it. You must have a lot of Virgo in you. I'll do your chart in a little bit and I'll see what you have there because logically you have the feeling, but you just can't get into it that much like he can. Dad has soul. He,
Yeah,
oh my God. Hang on.
loves music.
Absolutely adores it. That's what he keeps doing. He keeps playing the blues with me or something like that. I don't know. Van Halen.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry. It's so, I haven't had something like this intense in a while. That's why I was so excited about it. Hold on.
It was like that in life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Who's the kid that committed suicide? Hang on. Something about some kid like knocked himself off on accident or something like that. He like killed or got killed on accident. Okay, killed himself or got killed on accident. Okay, dad's talking about that. Hang on. Is this like an ex-boyfriend for you?
My ex-husband.
Perfect. Okay, cool. I asked him, I go, what? He says like knocked his block off or like killed himself something on accident. And then I said, who is that? And he ties it to you as a love connection. And so I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I still wear my ring from that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so no wonder. Okay, so he's bringing him in because he's talking about him. Hang on. He says he's a stupid asshole idiot, you know? That's what he says.
Yeah.
He's literally straight up said that. He's talking to him though. He goes, you know, you're a stupid asshole. You're an idiot. You know, you had all this here. You had all this here. You worried about him. You worried about him. You worried about him. You worried about him. Says like you have all this anxiety. You can't put up with the moods or something like that. He's talking about how the other guy was really self-centered. He was self-centered. I don't understand that. I guess that this is what your dad's talking about. I want to know, he did it. So he committed suicide?
He overdosed.
Perfect. Okay.
I don't think he meant to. I think he was clean for a little while, and then he ended up relapsing on this day 3 years
Oh,
ago.
oh, perfect. So no wonder he brings them up. Okay, that would be why I'm getting white balloons. Okay, interesting. I was like, is this an anniversary? Or I was going to say, is this a happy one? I haven't felt a sad feeling though, so that's a death anniversary. Yeah, your
Yeah.
dad's calling him dumbass. He's calling him stupid. He's talking about his mood swings. He's talking about the ups and downs. He's talking about you having all this panic anxiety based upon his behavior and his decisions. He's talking about how,
His addiction.
yeah, that's because there's a lot of, I don't know if I can, what's going on? Let me look for the signs. That's how you feel. I know
Yeah.
I had an ex-husband, not an ex-husband, but an ex-boyfriend that was an alcoholic and I get it. And it's not nearly as drugs, right? But there's that
Yeah.
goes along with it. Well, I was like, what, 19 at that point. I was terrible. Hang on. You were with him when he died? You found him?
I didn't find him, but I was in the hospital with him.
Perfectly. Okay. Sorry, he's talking about how you were holding his dead body or you're touching his dead body, like just straight up, those are the words, like you're holding it, or you're asking him to come back, or you're talking to him, like so and so, come here, so and so, get here, so and so, are you okay? So and so, this, like over and over again. And you're also saying, why did you do it? Why did you do it? Why did you do it?
Yeah.
Why did you do it? Why did you do it? Your dad calls him a moron. Get the fuck over
Yeah.
here.
Sounds
Wow.
about right.
That's what he's like, but he's funny. He's joking with them. It's like they know that they're
Yeah,
dead now, so
he
it's
loves him, but he'll give him crap.
yeah, it's like somebody talking to their son when they do
Yeah,
something bad. Like that's what this feels like. He's talking about you could have come and talked to. So dad died first and he died second?
a month later.
Perfect. Okay. So he's yelling at him right now in my head about how he left the daughter alone, about how he left your daughter alone. He was like, I left and then you left and then this is how we do this? Like, why would you leave my daughter alone? Right?
Yeah.
He, your dad's the one that pulled him out. Your dad's the one that pulled him out. He would have been stuck. He would have been stuck.
What do you mean stuck?
Stuck meaning that he would have been lost. I like to call it purgatory. It's where they get stuck in this middle area where they don't know that they're dead or they feel like they need to come back to find you and make amends. Your dad is the one that pulled him out. Your dad is the
Oh,
one that pulled him out. I'll explain about a whole thing. It's weird. That's
okay.
how I know that he did that to himself because that's
Yeah.
where they're at. You can
'Cause you
feel
get
that
stuck.
vibration. Uh huh. It's funny, your dad like wanted to knock himself off. Your dad was like over it. He was ready. Not like he wanted God to take him, but there were times where he was suffering and he was like, maybe if I take myself out and I'm good with God, like whatever. It's not bad
Yeah.
at all. Like it'd be but
No, he went through a lot.
he did. He's like commiserating with him right now. Hang on. Your dad's like, he loves her. He says, I love you. He says, I love you. He says, tell her I love her. And he has this more exasperated. He's like, tell her I love her. And he's like, I'm up here like whipping him in shape. Then he's a woman. Your dad is yelling at a woman saying, can you come over here and get this young man? Hang on. Your dad likes to be alone. He's like, damn, can I just be here and be alone and like enjoy my solitude? Your dad's in heaven. He's perfectly fine, but it's like he's letting all these people into his house. This is where I'm channeling at right now. He has me in his heaven. Did your dad quit drinking?
Yeah, he used to drink.
He used to, and then he stopped, right? Okay, yeah, because he's talking about he puts me in this shed, right? So this garage thing. He turns this music up really loud,
Yep.
really loud, and he's rocking out. And he goes, "Oh, I need a good beer," and then he switches the beer to root beer, and he says, "Oh, I don't drink." And so I'm like, okay, like joking about it. Hang on. He hears you praying to him all the time. He hears you talking to him all the time. And he says, I show up. Your dad would be somebody that you can feel in your house.
I feel somebody. I just can't ever tell who.
That's him. That's him. He's tall and lanky. He's tall and lanky, and he feels like he's right here with me. He feels like he's right here with me. Like I could just reach out and touch him. And he's like, reach out and touch me. I'm like, stop. Like we're not playing in my head right now. And this is what happens here. Wait, I want to go back and forth. So I'm kind of hold on. Wait, is your mom gone too?
Not my birth mom, but my mom is gone.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Cool. Hold on. I ask, I go, who else? And because he is yelling at this woman, and this woman is talking about like this is my daughter. And so or like is like my daughter. And she talks to the father, your actual father, and says that he's a little rough around the edges. He's a little rough around the edges. All he needs is like a little loving. All he needs is like this little about him. She says the problem is you don't have anybody to talk to anymore. She goes like this. She comes up. She does this to your hair. She's very bougie like this in my head. And she's like, the problem is with her. I was like, what? She's like, she just doesn't have anybody to talk to anymore, like that. And I'm like, okay. She has an accent though, like this more southern accent when she's talking. And You didn't get to say goodbye to her?
Not necessarily. Not with her coherent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I asked her, she's talking about, I said, so what is the thing? She's like, she's talking about her. I didn't get to say goodbye to her. So like she went incoherent beforehand. And she's like, how rude of me. Like, how rude of me. And I'm like, oh my God, you're fine. And were you going to name the baby girl after her or like attach the name to her?
My last daughter, I was gonna name her middle name after her maiden name.
Really? Why don't you?
We did. I don't remember why we didn't end up, but now I was gonna do it with this one, and then now there's been like 3 people that we know that's used the name, and then one of them was in our family.
Okay, well, I think you need to because you know what she just said? She goes like this. She holds your baby that's there. She holds like this. And she was like, well, she's going to name this little thing after me. She's like, I don't know. They haven't decided on it, but you know. She looks at me like that. And so I'm like, wait, you're going to? Like, that's the thing. You need to. Just do it. Who cares? Who cares? You don't have to do the whole thing. Just do the middle one. Just do the middle one. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Because we're already expecting it. Okay? They'll talk about it. If I have a session with you 2 years from now and you don't do it, they'll talk about it. They'll talk shit about it. So we'll do it. Hang on. She only got to see the first child?
Um, she's seen the first 2. I was the one that was gonna be named after her. I was pregnant with when she
Pregnant.
passed.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Because she's talking about fully meaning this one, that. Okay, no wonder, no wonder. Hang on. Are you like expected to cook for Thanksgiving right now and you're truly overwhelmed for the whole thing?
Well, Chris passed away on Thanksgiving.
That's why you're overwhelmed.
Yeah, so this week is just like a lot in general. So
Oh my God. She has you cooking and she has you crying over it.
yeah.
That's why I asked. She has you cooking like this, but she has you over it. So I'm like, hold on. I'm getting into him. Who's Colleen?
That's my mom.
Okay, that's Colleen. No wonder. Okay, that's the one your dad is yelling.
Yeah, that's his mother.
That is the mother. Okay,
Yeah.
on live. I don't know if you were there. I was on live. I was zoning out. I didn't have anything pulled up yet, and I said, "There's this guy here." I was like, "He feels like he's from some like Tennessee or Georgia or something like that." I don't know where it's from, but like this is the type. It's not my Texas accent. It's not Louisiana. It's not Mississippi. It's not South Carolina. So it has to be in Tennessee, Georgia area or
Tennessee.
Kentucky. Okay, perfect, perfect. I'm like, it's somebody like that. I go, and he's here, and he loves his daughter, like loves his daughter. I go, and it's like he keeps talking about like the love of her life dying. I was like, so I think that's her husband too. I was like, man, I go, and he has his mother with her. I said, but that's like her best friend. I'll see if I can get that clip if they're allowing me to download it still, and I'll
Okay,
see
I
if I
would
can.
like that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can send it to you. But I started getting all emotional. I was feeling his love. I cried for a second, and I go, oh my God, if they let me download it, I'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay.
They used to let you on your live, especially when you're bigger, they'll let you download the
Uh-huh.
live and so that way you can see it. And
Uh-huh.
oh my God, I started crying. That's why I was so zesty when I showed up to this because I'm like, oh my
Uh-huh.
God, this is gonna be so good. I think this is for you. So okay, hold on, let me get over here. I was just getting happy wasn't ready to be a dad yet.
Huh?
He says, this Chris.
Uh,
He says he's happy about having kid. He said, but he wasn't ready to be a dad yet. But he was happy
no,
about.
he wasn't mature.
Mm-mm. No, I talked to him. I said, so what was going on with you? He said, I was happy. He has this weird, like when he talks, like how he does his mouth, like almost like, does he have bad teeth?
Yeah, he was missing a tooth when he passed away. One of
Perfect.
his
Okay.
front teeth.
Okay. Perfect.
Like,
Because when he's talking, he keeps his lips more closed to me.
to hide it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so I'm like, what are you doing? He was like,
It
well,
got knocked out. He was wrestling with a cousin and it got knocked out.
really? So no wonder. Okay, he's talking to me, and I'm like, "What are you doing with your face, dude? Like, why are you making it that way?" He goes, "Well, I was happy to be a dad, but I wasn't ready." And I said, okay. He said, you tried to make him better. You tried to make him better. She tried to make me better. He said, I looked at her every day and said, wow, hang on. Oh, he'd use his money. He'd use your money for buying it. He apologizes for like taking the baby stuff. Hang on. I don't know what that means.
He would, when he got bad, he would take money out of their piggy bank. Yeah.
He literally like robs money from a baby in my head. And I'm like, what? Oh no.
He didn't like to admit it, but we got in arguments over it because I knew it was him.
It was him. He said, yeah, I was fucked up. I was like, I know. He said, I don't know why I wanted to get high. He was on opiates of some sort because it makes him go. He said, I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. He's even talking about like hanging out with the wrong people, and he's like the nerdy weird kid, but like he's trying to be cool with everybody else. And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, like he has this big, like would try to be like this big jacket on, and he's like, yeah, like I'm cool. And I'm like, stop it, you're being an idiot. I'm calling him out on his shit. He had a couple of buddies die of overdoses.
Yeah. We've lost a few people even since he's passed.
Perfect. Okay, he goes, you know, I had a couple buddies die. I was like, really? Is you want to talk about that? He said, was it laced with fentanyl? Well, who had the fentanyl overdose? Yeah, okay, cool. He said it was laced with fentanyl. I was like, really? He said, that shit will kill you. I was like, no shit, I know. I talked to a lot of people that die that way. Y'all weren't fully married.
We never got to have a wedding. We had a ceremony, but like 3 people, but we never got to have an actual wedding.
He goes, she never got to wear a dress, man. She never got to wear a dress, ma'am. And I go, no way. I took that from her. He says he took that from you.
Yeah, he was too scared and he kept putting it off. Because we came to a mutual agreement to get married because I was pregnant with our first daughter.
Yeah.
And so I never got to have like him asking us have actual like wedding.
I know. He feels bad about that because you deserve that. You deserve that. He feels bad, like legit. The disappointment that is reeking off of this person's soul is very apparent. So know that. They had to take him off. He was brain dead. He was fucked up. He was. He goes. He's talking about his mom won't even help you out.
Yeah, she wasn't really in the picture for him. He didn't have a very
Yeah.
good support system to fall
Yeah.
back on.
He's talking about how his family was fucked up. He's talking about like how his mom was not there for you, not there for him. He's talking about how people were coming after he died. People were like coming out of the woodwork saying how sad they were about him passing and like all this bullshit. You're dating somebody now?
Oh, I'm remarried now.
Perfect. Okay. He says he's with a good guy now. He's with a good guy now. With a good guy now. He says he wishes he would have been better for you. He wishes he would have been better for you. There's nothing about how you could do anything. Deny it. You were all in his shit. You were all in his phone. I deny it. I deny it. He's talking about that. He says he took the kids to go pick up drugs.
Probably.
He's talking about how fucked up it was. But he's not, it's like he just can't cope. He just can't cope. He just can't cope.
Yeah, he didn't have the structure that you need to get off of stuff like that. It was me and him against the world, like, we didn't have
Yeah.
a whole lot of people.
Oh no, I'm not faulting him at all. I see his life and I feel what he was going through and I understand why, and I understand why he almost would have like nervous breakdowns and panic attacks, and he didn't know what else to do. He wasn't coping, and then he wanted to be a man for you. He wanted to be your number one and he didn't know how to do it. And so he would revert back into being a child.
Yep, that was the cycle we went through.
Yeah, and he saw the good in you, and you saw that pureness in him, but he just couldn't get there because he didn't know how to. He didn't have the ladder to climb up on. You were trying to be the rope ladder, but if somebody's never climbed in their life, they don't even know how to use that.
Yeah.
So, hold on. He would take actual pills too.
Yeah. He went
Yeah,
through phases.
yeah. He showed me like a baggie, like a clear plastic baggie with him in his pocket, and like that. He's talking about how he's funny. Is he really short?
Yeah, he was tiny.
He's okay. He's talking to your father, and your father makes him look like a small person in my head. And that's why,
Yeah.
what? And he
He's
comes
about
up
5'7".
really, yeah, he is little. So I'm 6 foot, so no wonder he's small. He comes up, he's like, "It's okay, son. Like, I have you. Don't." About this, you know? And he's like, he just needs somebody to love him. He's like, "Do you really love me?" Like, he's that little boy is just searching for love. He You still show your child like his pictures and say that's your daddy?
Yeah, our middle daughter, Julie. Speaking of which, oh, hold
Right.
on, go play with Charlie. Our middle daughter, she carries around a photo album, with pictures of the two of them in it.
Really? Yeah, go
I'm
take
gonna,
care of him. Go take care
I'm
of
gonna
him.
send her out.
Go, 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 go. You're fine. You're fine. Speaking of it, there you go. You did it.
Okay, well, here. If you're done, I'll go get you a balloon. Before I can blow it up, okay? No, not right now, baby. You see it down, I want to come. I'm gonna go call. Right now. Here, go play, okay? When I cook, you can watch some business movies, okay, when I get done. Thank you. You do it.
How
Sorry, the
sweet.
husband's at work, so
How sweet. Oh my God. So while I'm sitting there, oh, I get it. I get it. I have a son. I can only imagine with all the kids how it's like, right? Mine's like, I'm going to go play Roblox. I'm like, here's your computer, go. He's talking about how, did one of the kids sleep in his jacket or in his hoodie or something like that?
yeah, Jason did.
Okay,
Our
cool.
oldest.
Yeah, okay. He keeps talking about, man, he walks into this room where you're at and he picks one up and he tries to put them over their head, and he's talking about, I wish I would have been this better dad. He was so good when he was, and he gets his jacket like on this little kid, it looks huge, and he wraps her up in it, and she's asleep or laying down in it with like only.
There's a picture of him and our oldest at the hospital, and he's got her stuff inside of his jacket, and they're sleeping.
Really? That's, yeah, it's like only in a pamper. Like that's what this would be.
Yeah.
And I'm, oh my God. Okay. And he's talking about that. He's showing me these moments, and he says that you cook good no matter what he says, and you're like, "Oh, I just do it simple." You're like, "I just do it simple," or something. And he's talking about how you do good. You do good. He says like you can do some like really good hamburger helper or something like that. I don't know what that is. Like it's like really simple, but like good, like
Yeah.
something out of the box. And he's really liking that. He says, hold on. Did you actually get a tattoo of him or for him?
Yeah.
Shut up. Okay, he goes like this. I go, she's not. He shows me tattoo, and I go, she's not a tattoo person. I was like, no way. And he goes, no, no, no. He was she. He goes, she ruined her beautiful skin for me. Like says that, like joking about it, how you have like pretty creamy skin. And he says like, oh, she put it on her, and I was like, no, there's no freaking way. And so that's why I asked you. I was like, yeah. So so he knows about that. Your dad's funny. Oh, we do crazy things for love, don't we? And I'm like, yeah, I know. And he says, ruin her. He's talking about you and him, how he would ruin you. I don't know. That's a whole like another funny thing. And like y'all would sneak off or something like that. Like this is a young love thing. Did y'all meet when you were like 16?
um, we were 14, 15.
Really? Okay. Cool,
Yeah,
cool, cool.
I was in 7th grade.
Oh, so okay, so you were, yeah, you were about 13. Okay, so right
Yeah,
around there. Yeah, I asked him,
7th
I
or
go,
3rd.
how old were y'all when you met? And he's showing me like me with one of my first boyfriends. And so I'm like, okay, so this is, around this age. So y'all been together for a while. So
Mhm.
no wonder there's the sneaking off. No wonder there's the whole finagling. No wonder there's the whole hang on. He's taking me back to how like when you were kids, like hold each other's hand and he would like promise you the world.
Yeah.
He'd promise you the world. Oh, sorry. I'm getting all wrapped up in that feeling right now. And it's just, bleh. He apologizes. He is around you. He is with you. He does hang out with you. Your father is the orchestrator of this whole thing. I want to go back into Colleen for a second. He does love you. Your dad's taking care of him though. Okay, so don't ever worry about him. Don't ever worry about your dad too. He is having a great freaking time. You were able to go and like give your dad a kiss on the forehead and like mess with his hair or something like when he passed?
I think that was before when he was at a rehab center.
Rehab center. Okay, cool. He's talking about the last thing he felt from me, the last thing was with you was like this, and then we give like a kiss on our head. Like that's what this is. And I'm like, okay. And he's okay with closure. What happened with him at the end? He doesn't even like to talk about. I mean, obviously we know he passed, obviously we know why he passed, obviously know. But like what ended up happening? What ended up happening in the end?
Oh, he was in the rehab center for a few weeks. He ended up after his mom, my mom that took care of me, she passed away it was the year before him. And when she passed away, he kind of just like lost his sense of like she kept him in line.
Yeah.
So, and then he ended up moving to Nashville with his brother to go to Vanderbilt for experimental cancer care. But he had similar issues to Chris lifelong. So he ended up abusing things and they found out about it and they canceled his experimental trial. And about 3 months later is when it took him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no wonder they're hanging out together too, because they had similar situations.
Yeah.
It's funny, your father's talking about should have stuck with pot.
Yeah.
Should have stuck with pot. I go, what do you have to say? He's like, should have stuck with pot. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. Hang on. Your dad keeps calling himself an old rock star. He's an old rock star. He's like, don't, I'm an old rock star. Hang on. Did he have a piece of shit truck?
The forerunner.
Okay, perfect. Cool. All right. I go, what happened with that?
Well, it got stolen when he moved to Nashville by some of the bad people he had around his house, and ended up getting totaled and then towed. And yeah, it was a long story, but we didn't end up with it.
No, you didn't. It should have gone to you. Okay. Yeah, he's talking about, I said, so what else do you want to talk about? He was like, my piece of shit truck is gone. I was like, okay, what happened with it? That's why I asked you about it. Hang on. I want to go ahead and go over here. While I have him here, hang on. Hold on. It's funny, your mother, I'm going to call her your mother, not your grandmother. Your
Yeah.
mother is sitting in on the floor where the kids are. I guess they're in the living room or something like that. She's
Yeah,
like
really.
sitting, she's sitting in on the floor because I'm calling her and asking her to come talk to me, and she's like, "Hold on, I'm in here with the babies." And so I go in there in my head, and she's sitting on the floor with these kids, and I'm like, "Okay, I guess they're in the living room." And so she's in there making sure they're fine. Okay, so just know that they're there. So if they ever talk about seeing a woman, that's her. She Are you thinking about dyeing your hair more or something?
Well, I'm always undecided about my hair.
Okay, okay. She keeps talking about like she's like joking with you. I don't think you're gray at all. Like that's not a thing. And she says like, "Oh, like there's some gray something." And she's talking about how you are in the process of like thinking about dyeing your hair, like doing this big different change, and then she's telling you don't do it. And
Okay.
so I will also be the person that tells you don't do it. And like you really I like it long too, don't cut it off. That's a whole nother thing too. And it
These are extensions, so
So there you go. Okay, I like it. So that would make sense. It looks good. It looks good. She's talking about switching to a wig, like just joking about it. She says, "Hold on. Do you have Chris? Do you have him?"
yeah, he's the one that was cremated.
Really? Okay. Sorry. I go. So what happened with you? I was telling her, I said, "Mama," I was like, "What happened with you?" And he goes, "Hey, hey." He like pokes me on my mental head, and I go, "What?" And he was like, "Tell she has me. Tell her she has me. Tell her." I was like, "Okay, fine." So he knows that. Okay. Do you have him up high so the kids can't touch him?
Yes.
Okay. All I hear is, "Don't touch daddy." So I'm like, okay. Hey, are you at some point going to get little necklaces for them all to wear of him? Okay.
Yeah, I was already gonna do it, and I keep putting it off because I have not yet opened I've opened it, and the one time I did open it and take the bag out, I had a mental breakdown, so we
You
have not opened it since then.
Okay, cool. You lost your shit. It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. So he shows me this. He shows me I go, "Oh my god, so they have the whole thing. Where's the rest of it?" And he gets these little silver hearts and he like puts them on all of them. I don't know if they will be that or not. And then he's showing me them being a little bit older and like running, and they have these little necklaces. Like
Yeah, I came to the conclusion that I wanted to wait till they were older because I don't want them losing them
yeah. Yeah,
'cause they're small.
wait till they're middle school. Middle school would be a good time. Middle school would be a good time. That would be a perfect time. That way nothing is like broken or pulled because it will kill them as well. Hang on. I want
Yeah,
to wait. They eat a lot of chicken nuggets.
they like chicken nuggets, yep.
They eat chicken
They're
nuggets.
big snackers.
Yeah. I go, "What's happening?" He goes, "There's a lot of chicken nuggets." I was like, "Okay, I'll talk about that too."
Well, they were just cooking something in the microwave. I heard the microwave going, so they may be eating chicken nuggets as we speak.
Hey, maybe, okay, please email me and let me know because that'd be weird because your grandmother talks about being in there and then he's in there talking about that. Hold on. Are you thinking about getting a dog?
My husband wants to get another dog,
Dog.
but
Okay.
we have his dog.
Okay. You have his, but this one's already older
Yeah.
at this point. Wait, where? Oh, there's the baby. Oh my God. Look. Hey, beautiful. How are
Yeah,
you?
that's Chris's dog, and I did have mine and my mama's dog, but she passed away last Christmas, so she was
Really?
old.
Okay. Was she a smaller dog? Mammo's
Yeah,
dog?
we called her a Pama Pickawinichi because she was a Pomeranian, Pekingese, Weenie dog, and Chihuahua.
Okay, perfect. Okay, because she's sitting here, she's in there with the girls, and she has this smaller dog that's about this size with her. And I'm like, okay, so that's her dog. He's talking about that. The new one, they're talking about getting a puppy or getting like it'd be even like if you went and like rescued one or something like that. And they're talking about all the kids coming around it being like, oh, like that. So please do that. That would be really, really great. Hold on. Your mom is just like, "I think she now knows that she's well handled and well cared for." I'm like, yep. She says, "It's almost like you hope that they remember you." They do remember you. What are you talking about? That's the whole thing. You'd be great in the medical field, by the way. You got it perfect. Okay. So whenever, get through children first. Get their kids first and then work on that. What do you want to do?
I went to medical assistant school when Chris was still here, and I did that, and I got put in an office that was really slow paced, and a lot of older patients that do like regular same things. And I'm used to serving. I'm a bartender currently, and
Yeah.
I've done it for 8 years, and it was just I was going crazy. It was just so slow paced. But I did do a semester towards my RN, but I didn't go back. It was after one of our daughters. But with this whole COVID thing, I've kind of lost interest. I'm like, it's been such a mess. I don't know.
I know. Well, I think you would be absolutely wonderful. I think when you go back, I would say do that, but get through babies first. Okay. Don't focus on any of that now. Do what you want to do, make some money, like just get through it. When they get into high school, middle school area, then I would say go back and look. And I would say go back and look at RN, but work in emergency medicine.
That
I
would make sense because that's a lot faster paced. And I've been struggling thinking about that because I'm like, I can't be a bartender forever. And I'm like, I make good money because we live in a tourist town, but I was just like, I can't do this forever. So I've been trying to figure out what to do. And my current husband wants me to look into real estate, but I'm like, I'm not much of a salesperson.
No. You're a carer. You're a carer. You're intense. You are logical. Don't go into real estate. It would and they're not it's not great. It's about to crash right now. You're not going to make a whole lot of money. You need to do something that you are going to be number one. It's going to be fast paced. You're going to be able to use your wit and you're going to be proud about it whenever you go home. And you have the Virgo attribute, you have this Cancer attribute Pisces thing behind you where you're really, really good and you can feel other people's pain. And so you
Yeah.
know what that's like. And so I would say do kids, do this bartending thing for a couple of years more, and then look into doing the RN, continue to go that area. But whenever you get out, go into like emergency medicine. Another thing that
Mm.
would be really good for you later on down the line would be going into like hospice care too,
Yeah.
end of life hospice care. Because you've been around, you've seen your father, you know how that goes. And just like
Well,
little
I took
Chris,
care of my grandmother. She lived in my house for a year on hospice, bedridden.
oh, well, then no wonder she
So,
hangs out with you in your house.
yeah,
So
she passed away here.
uh-huh. Well, there you go. That's why she's in your house. Why, like literally, she's in the living room. Like she was
Yeah,
coming in to
that's
talk to
where
us.
she passed away.
Oh, perfect. See, there you go. Yeah, she just lives with you. She still lives with you. She hangs around. She's all in charge of helping everybody out. Your dad pops in and out, but he's perfectly fine. He's helping Chris. Chris does pop in and out, but also he doesn't. Chris, um, especially when it comes to love, he doesn't like to interfere with you and your new husband. He loves you. He messes with the kids, but they do have that respect for letting that relationship go forward too.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Because if they interrupt you or get into you too much, then you start digressing and you stop focusing on the right now.
Because my aunt, I didn't know up until after Chris died.
Mhm.
But then we weren't on talking terms because my mother, my real mother, biological, and her weren't on good terms. And my biological mother lives with me currently, and she's not.
The best.
Yeah,
I know.
it's a mess. I'm sure they can show you something, but
Oh yeah,
but
it's very draining for you.
yeah, but I didn't know until afterwards that she is able to do some of what you can do,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I didn't believe her for a while because I struggled with the whole, where are they at? Did they just poof? Like, are
Mhm.
they in thin air?
They're
Like,
here. They're here.
and
They're just not here.
I didn't believe her, and I tested her for a few months, and I was like, that would be really messed up to play games like this on somebody. And she started telling me things I hadn't even said out loud before, and I was like, well, that's weird.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a thing. It's a frequency. You pick it up. I want you to think of it as like the way that I like to logically explain it is on a radio, right? You're tuning into different channels on a radio. All those channels are still there. It's just where you can pick it up at. So like for me, whenever I'm tuning into you and your different frequencies. That's where they're at. They're around you. It's like you're in a radio, but where is it at? Like when your dad's talking, a freaking light goes off. I don't even know about that anymore with your dad with the guitar thing. So right now, what I want you to do is if I, God, I would just stay here with you for a whole nother hour if I didn't have a session. But do you have any questions for me right now before
um,
I go for right now?
well, I guess Is the reason that Chris is around less than them because of the relationship
Yeah.
aspect, or is it because of how he went?
No, it's because of the relationship aspect. He's around your
Okay.
kids. He's around your kids. He's around you, but so a lot of times we'll feel like if um if he's around 24/7 with you, trying to love you, trying to build this marriage relationship, then you're going to feel that you're going to have a pull and you're going to distance yourself from your current husband.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And have do any of them mention anything that happened in my car earlier?
Hang on, let's see. Let's see.
Because that was weird.
Hold on. Hold on. Your dad did it. I is talking about things going haywire or something like that. Everything going haywire. What happened with this?
I was sitting in my car because today's the anniversary of Chris passing. Well, like when they declared him
He's
passing.
dead. Yeah.
And we were supposed to be going out to this restaurant that's kind of like mine in his place with my aunt that I was talking about, and couldn't find parking. And I was like, this place is crazy busy. I don't feel like this is going to happen before my meeting because I was trying to make sure I made it back.
Mhm.
And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to go over to the other side of the parking lot. And my youngest daughter was in the back watching her movie, which wasn't loud. I couldn't even hear what it was saying. And my phone was sitting beside me. I was not touching my phone, and this has never happened before.
Mhm.
And then it did the little boop boop noise that when you're like, okay, Google.
Yeah.
But I didn't say anything. And it
You
did
know?
that. And I didn't say anything. And I was like, that's weird. I didn't say, okay, Google, what is it doing? And it was like, did you really mean that? And I was like, I didn't say anything. I'm just sitting there like, what's going on? And it was like, oh, thank you. I'm giving you a virtual hug. And I was like, my car just told me it was giving me a virtual hug, and I'm a little weirded out, but like, that's pretty awesome.
That's yes. Okay, so they were showing me on here. They're showing me like volume going on and up, like up and down, or where this is. Like
Yeah.
everything, like electronics are going haywire, and I'm like, what does that mean? Okay, so that's dad. That's dad, but he has Chris with him, so it's combined. Okay.
Do
Oh my
they
god.
like travel as like a team or something?
Yeah, well, because Chris is weaker and he needs somebody to have a father figure with him, and so your dad is that person, and he wants to be able to boss somebody around and take care of them. So that's what he does.
Okay.
So it's a whole thing. And then Colleen's just there. She lives in your house, and they pop in and on all the time. So for right now, what I want you to do in closing is A, if you ever need me again, just email me first. Okay. B, what I want you to do before you go out into your world, I want you to just sit here when we get off and have a 30-second moment to just go, okay. And then the next thing I want you to do is tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to take a couple of minutes and I want you to go and I want you to tell each one of them thank you and that you love them. Okay.
I will. Can
Okay.
I ask one more question?
Yeah, what's up?
I've been on the fence because me and Chris have 3 daughters. Well, this one is a girl too.
Mhm.
So me and Andrew are having a daughter, so it'd be 4, but we really wanted a boy.
You're not
I
getting
don't
another. You're not getting a boy.
not getting all right. That's
Mm-mm.
what I needed to know. That's
There's
what I
no.
needed to know.
I would tell you. I would literally say keep trying, go for it. The next one's fine, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I
doesn't
was like, I don't know if I can handle 5 girls in one house, and I'm like, I feel like that would be my luck.
you would. I'm the youngest of 7 sisters. I
Oh
know.
my goodness.
So, but no, you would definitely have another girl. So,
All right.
but I mean, trying is always fun, though. I can tell you that. I have my second husband. So, email me if you need me. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Nikki. Love you, baby.
Love you too.
Bye.